I find, and I have found since coming back to the job of Chief Inspector of Construction, or starting the job of Chief Inspector of Construction when I came back to the industry three and a half years ago now, that the top of the industry really has changed. There is a real genuine commitment to health and safety. It's not just lip service, it runs throughout the company. What we find in HSE generally is that there are three broad groups: those who are committed and are trying hard, for whom we offer encouragement, help and advice; those who are in fact ignorant of their duties, for whom obviously we offer as much information as we can about how to comply with the legislation. They're generally keen to comply and generally interested in their workforce, but actually are ignorant of what can go wrong, of the risks. And that's why it's so important that we actually give out information and make information available about the sorts of accidents that are occurring and how to prevent them. And then I'm afraid there is the bottom end of the industry, which is genuinely the rogue element of the industry, who do not care about their workforce. And my inspectors tell me, frankly, dreadful stories of exploitation. And for those people, we will be taking a very, very firm line. We will not hesitate to use the enforcement powers that we have, and in that respect I welcome the Offences and Penalties Bill. The only way you can really get companies committed and passionate about safety is to convince the senior management. This is where industry leadership is so crucial in setting the right tone. That's why the top companies are putting a lot of effort into training their leaders. Let me give some examples. If you have a senior manager or director that comes onto a construction site and obviously walks past a serious health and safety hazard, it sets a very, very clear negative message. Safety doesn't matter. What matters is production or whatever else he or she has come to look at. On the other hand, nothing is more reinforcing about the importance of health and safety than, say, the company accounts director coming onto a construction site and using straightforward common sense to challenge unsafe acts and say to whoever is accompanying them, look, that doesn't look right, can you just tell me about that? That sends a very, very powerful message that every member of the construction board really cares about health and safety. Now that's what we have to drive throughout the industry. We have to drive that right of everybody in the industry, and indeed that responsibility of everybody in the industry to challenge unsafe acts, whether they have just joined the site, whether they're a very senior person on the site. That's why also we're very, very keen to ensure competence of companies in terms of their structure, but particularly competence as well of their managers, and particularly site managers. It's the site manager who can really set the direction for any particular project. Okay. I think at the moment there is an appetite to look at some more radical solutions to help the construction industry manage to improve its health and safety record, to drive down the level of fatalities and major injury accidents. There are a number of ways of approaching this that have been used across Europe. For example, in some countries they limit the level of subcontracting to no more than 2 or 3 levels of subcontracting. In other countries they limit the number of migrant workers on any construction site. I'm personally very interested to see what the effect would be of making it mandatory for any contractor before they started trading as a construction company to attend a health and safety training course with some hard-hitting messages, so that we really start to make people realise that if you don't manage health and safety in the construction industry properly, accidents will continue to occur. Now, I think there are a number of radical solutions which we need to debate properly in the industry. I shall be very interested to look carefully to see what effect the downturn the industry has, but I have 2 very key messages to the construction industry at the moment. First of all, don't be tempted to cut corners on health and safety. Secondly, if there was ever a time to be even more efficient in management, and good health and safety management is only one aspect of good management, now is the time to really look hard at whether you are managing health and safety properly, as you look hard at all of the other issues that you have to manage in the industry.